Hi there, this is Hairless Ape. I'm going to show you how to install Mayhem 3 Renegades from scratch. When you're done, it should come up and look just like this. So we're going to back out of this and start from scratch and show you how we get there. The first thing you're going to want to do is to go into your Steam application folder, wherever your Steam app is. You go under Steam apps and then common, and then you're going to find X3 Terran Conflict. That's actually your Albion Prelude install. So you're going to want to go in there and take all those files and copy them. I've done this ahead of time so you didn't have to wait for 8 gig to copy. But copy all those files and create a new folder on a different drive. In this case, I created a folder called Mayhem 3. And I copied all of these files over to here. So that's step one. Take all your original game files and copy them into a new folder. At this point, you're going to want to have the Mayhem 3 Renegades install. The original 2.5 full installation. I've already downloaded that. That's about 4 gigs, so it's pretty big. And copy that over the top of this new folder. If you ever did the previous releases of Mayhem 3, you had to go through many steps. Lit cubes install. Can't remember everything, but it was a bunch of stuff you had to do, and then a bunch of incrementals on top of that. And so I've consolidated all those different steps you had to do into just this one install. So now that you've got the original Renegades install in the Mayhem 3 folder overwritten, you're going to take any incremental releases you have. In this case, the latest incremental release is 2.6. And you're going to want to copy that and paste that over the top. And we're not done. So at this point, you're going to want to acquire the X3 Albion Prelude No Steam executable. That's linked along with these other things on the Mayhem 3 Renegades website. So that one you have to acquire yourself because it's part of EgoSoft's property. So now we have the No Steam executable in there so that it doesn't try to re-steam all your files. You don't want that. Now, part of the original install was a bunch of files that really interfere with the mods. They're called PCK files. And you really do need to get rid of them or things won't work right. That's one of the things that LitCubes install used to do, but since we're going around LitCube, we have to get rid of those files ourselves. So there's a nice simple batch file called cleanup.bat, and that gets rid of the unwanted files. So run that. It's done. Feel free to look in there and see what it deletes. So now the files are all set. Got the original Mayhem 3 Renegades full install in there, the incremental release, and the No Steam executable. And we have run the cleanup bat file to get rid of unwanted files. At this point, you need to create a map. So we're going to go into ZMap, which is the latest release. I made that. And we're going to run it. It says, oh yeah, okay, you need to set a couple folders the first time you run it. The ZMap is available with the download, but you can also go to the actual separate ZMap release to see a lot of interesting information about it. Original C# source codes with it, so you can change it however you want. Really, the only thing we really have to do in ZMap at this point is generate the systems. But first we need to set a couple folders like it told us. So we're going to head up here and set the Mayhem 3 root folder, which is C, Mayhem 3. And it wants to know where you put your saved games, which is under Documents, EgoSoft, Albion Prelude, Save. Should be there for everybody. So I can just generate the systems now that I've got the folders set. You can see the Boron up here, the Paraned, Talati, Argon, Split, and the Terrans. I don't particularly like things to be this dense, too many systems. I like the large map, but I don't like this many systems, so I click Shattered Galaxy and I generate again. Now you can generate a map over and over and over and over as many times as you like till you really see a configuration that floats your boat. And let's say you like what you see here, but you don't like how the gates are interconnected. You can go over here and just regenerate just the gates. So it'll respin how things are hooked up, which is kind of interesting. If you don't like the stats, you can regenerate all of them at once. It'll redo everything, all the stats, system support levels, sun levels, everything. So I'm going to go do a full tutorial on this at some later point, but generally you want to get a map set the way you like it. And I like to figure out, I actually like to place my starting location. I'm going to play the Terran race, and I like this little pocket here to start in. So I'm going to try to take over this little pocket. And you can tell it, this is where I want to start the game if I start as the Terrans. So you double click TKR's deprivation. You set start select sector for owner. So click that, say OK. See a little asterisk there? That means if you play the Terran race, then that's where you're going to start. You just need to head south. So we should start in TKR's deprivation if we do everything correctly. At this point, you just need to save your map. So we're going to go hit that and hit enter a new name, test 1, save. And now I'm going to select the map and I have to activate it. Activating is a process of copying a dozen or so files from a saved game folder over the top of your Mayhem 3 files. So about a dozen or so were replaced. So that's really just a folder copy type operation when you activate a map. So that's done. At this point we can exit and we should be able to go back up to Mayhem 3 and start the game. If you did everything right, your Mayhem 3 Renegades should show the correct version. You hit start, it should show load screens that look like Renegades. It should show Renegades. If I say new game, go down and start as Terrans, like I mentioned. A nice pretty load screen.
Welcome aboard.
And I'm just going to hit escape to all these questions here so we can see where we're started. So if I take a look, I'm exactly where I should be. TKR's deprivation. So I know I'm starting in the right spot, and I know where to go if I want to run into that nice little pocket. Before I end, I'm going to get out of here and show you one little quick thing. If you want to customize your game, which you're going to want to do, you're going to want to go to Mayhem 3 add-on T, and there's two files you customize, 9972 and then 9973. The first one was all the work done for the original Mayhem 3 release, and 9973 is everything that Hector did for 0 Hour. And I think you're going to find settings in both of those that you're going to want to adjust. And there's too many to go over, and many of them I don't understand myself. But I definitely go through and I modify about a dozen entries. So if I click one, you can see there's a whole lot of stuff in here to change, a lot of settings. There's descriptions to the right of it to say what it does. Some of the descriptions are helpful and some of them are pretty rough. But a lot of them make sense, so you're absolutely going to want to do this before you play your first game. Let's see, for example, I like the AI to declare war on me. Always fun, so I change that no matter what game difficulty. I like having orbital weapons. I like to buy my quantum tubes, for example. I'll switch that to a 1. Rather than make all the facilities and factories to build my own quantum tubes, I just prefer to buy them and focus on other types of micromanagement. They're a little more fun for me. So a lot of settings. You're going to want to go through both of those files, customize it before you start your new game. That's pretty much it. I hope you got a lot out of this and enjoyed the presentation. Hope you have fun with Renegades, and there will be more to come. Thanks.